Hey, what's up guys? This is Martin from Victory Running and Triathlon Coaching. In 2018 I had the unique opportunity to run the New York City Marathon, and let me tell you, this is an unparalleled festival of running culture. More than 50,000 people cross the finish line every year, supported and cheered up by 2 million spectators along the road. It's absolute madness, believe me. I ran my share of marathons, including the Berlin Marathon, but there's no other running event in the world that I know of that comes close to what New York City has to offer in terms of frenzy, in terms of support, in terms of running festival culture. Before we dive right into it in just a second, we first need to make our way to the start line in the south of New York City on Staten Island. I had the chance to enter one of the police-escorted VIP buses of Team Tata Consultancy Services that brought us all the way from Manhattan through Brooklyn to Fort Wadsworth on Staten Island. Before the gun finally goes off, all 50,000 runners convene on the ground of Fort Wadsworth on Staten Island. Standing on the grounds of Fort Wadsworth, you have an exceptionally great view of Manhattan across the upper bay of New York City, as well as the Verrazzano Narrows Bridge to your right. The number of people participating at the New York City Marathon is so huge that it takes an incredible 2 hours for all runners to cross the start line. Due to the large amount of people participating at this event, all runners are divided into 3 physically separated groups of blue, orange and green color. And within these groups there are of course different starting blocks, A, B, C, D, etc. to reflect the targeted finish times. Groups start running on different paths across the Verrazzano Narrows Bridge and don't unite until 5 kilometers after the start line.
Good morning, gentlemen. Waving those flags, we've got South Africa with us at the start line. The Blues brothers made it out. They're boogie in there. Ireland is out here. They welcome the Irish with us in New York City. Got the running clubs here in New York. How about Scandinavia? How about our Scottish brothers with their kilts on this morning?
While Frank Sinatra is humming his famous tune, let's take a closer look at the run course through the 5 boroughs of New York City. see, this is a highly versatile route with a wide variety of music styles played by bands and DJs all along the way. One thing that does not change, however, is the energy of the spectators along the route. It's just incredible, with the exception of bridges, where of course it's not that pleasant to stand and cheer. There are multiple rows of people lining every single yard of the way right until the finish line. It's unparalleled. There's nothing like this on any other run event in the world. At least I've never experienced it. Woo-hoo! Bridge is also the keyword that finally brings me back to the run course, as the runners make their way across the gigantic Verrazzano Narrows Bridge right after they cross the start line. I didn't film myself crossing the finish line, but rather enjoyed every second of it. But let me tell you what happens last. From 59th Street you make a right turn right into Central Park, and a few hundred yards later you cross the finish line with an incredibly broad smile in your face.
You got this! Sweden!
One thing that makes the New York City Marathon so special is the fact that there is no cutoff time. Like in Berlin or other marathons of the world, you need to finish by a certain time, let's say 6 hours. But there's no such cutoff time in New York City. So you may cross the finish line 8, 9, 10 hours after you started, and you're still cheered on and supported by policemen, by spectators along the route. This really is an emotional atmosphere that gives me goosebumps every time I watch it, and this is intensified even more by the fact that the trees and everything else is illuminated so greatly from below. Great, isn't it? I get a shiver of joy every time I watch it again. It's so cool, so emotional. Now let's have a chat about this piece of metal here, the medal. Over the years, the finisher medal of the New York City Marathon got bigger and bigger. And this is by far the largest medal hanging on my wall that I ever received for any running event. And let me put this into perspective for you. This is the finisher's medal of the Berlin Marathon. And if you compare these two and put them on top of each other, you clearly see the difference in size. This is quite a chunk hanging around your neck, isn't it? But it's great. Most of you probably know this. The New York City Marathon, together with Chicago, Boston, London, Tokyo and Berlin, belongs to the World Marathon Major Series. And on this picture you actually see the 6-star medal that finishers receive once they have accomplished all 6 major races of the world. Alright guys, this was it. This was the New York City Marathon live and from a first-person perspective. If you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and also check out those videos to my right. They are on running and triathlon training and fun issues. I hope you enjoy them as much as you did with this video. Stay healthy and safe, my friends. Go out and run. This was Martin from Victory. Ciao.